As you may know, I'm very into coaches. Most people care about the athletes or the teams, but I myself care about the coaches for some odd reason. I guess it was because I was never an athlete and I always found the dad on the sideline a little bit more relatable to myself, and I always thought it was something I could do one day because I wasn't very athletic. Now for coaches I like, there are a few, but the first coach I fell in love with was Bill Belichick of the New England Patriots. Now a lot of people strongly dislike this guy. People think he is a jerk of a guy, a salty curmudgeon, or he is a cheater. But I don't see any of that stuff, and I'm going to do my best to explain why I think Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. Until one day down the road when Brad Stevens catches up to him. So let's talk about my homie Billy B. Coach Belichick is the best coach in all of sports because of his attention to detail, creating a plan, executing a plan, leading men, sustaining success, and creating a system. I could go on and on about the great things he has done, which this is what the video will be about. Now let's go into detail about these things. Now the main thing I love about Bill Belichick is his stoic demeanor. He doesn't want you to know his name, he just wants to do his job to the best of his abilities. And when it comes to dealing with the media, Coach Belichick puts them into check.
You said Tom will start when he's eligible. Can you think of an occasion when you've made the 5 starter in July?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because what happens if Jimmy plays better?
Look, I told you what's going to happen.
So there's this.
Jesus Christ.
I personally hate reporters because they play the victim card a lot and it drives me nuts, because they are the ones asking the stupid questions, and Coach Belichick gives it to them, which is something I find very enjoyable. Now Coach Belichick has a crazy attention to detail, and the players, staff, and team have a way of remembering things that Coach Belichick wants them to remember.
The tenets or the principles of your leadership style or approach, what would they be?
4 things that we look at every day when we walk into the building. Do your job, be attentive, pay attention to details. Team has to come first, even though we all have individual goals and preferences. We don't talk about last year, we don't talk about next week, we don't talk about next year, we talk about today and we talk about the next game. And that's all we can really control. The rest of it will take care of itself.
He tries his hardest to make sure the team never overthinks or overreacts to anything on or off the field. Staying true to doing your job and taking care of what you need to is really all Bill Belichick asks for. And keeping it simple is something he stresses because by doing that, then players know the role and have more drive/focus to do well at that goal. My favorite thing to do was watch NFL Films videos of Bill Belichick on the sideline. Just about anything this guy says fascinates me.
Yeah, nickel to out, nickel to Detroit. They missed the landing up the middle on that last one, right? Make sure you get enough depth, like 12 yards, 14 yards. Get depth, break on everything. Right, it's containing a quarterback now is an issue. It's twice we've lost him.
Okay, we got him contained on the bootleg.
Eye control here, right?
Yes, sir.
Just eyes, don't chase it. Get your eyes on the quarterback then.
Yes, sir.
And going back to his attention to detail, Bill Belichick will always have his team prepared for anything. First, let's look back at Super Bowl 49 versus the Seahawks. That Malcolm Butler play was no accident. Coach Belichick had his defense prepared for that play. Watch this.
We heard later that he had been beaten on that same play in practice.
Malcolm Butler had played maybe 100 snaps all year long.
That's going to be a pass because they would only run the ball out of 2 wide receivers.
He had him. I don't know what happened.
And after that interception, there was a cool exchange between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick speaking about what to do next. I apologize for the audio, but I had to include this video because I saw it on YouTube and I needed to share this.
Ball's on a 1-yard line. Half the distance of the goal. How far is that? About this far. Right? Ball's on a 1-yard line. Half the distance of the goal, they get penalized 2 inches. So why not try to draw you guys offside, right? That's the cheapest 5 yards they can get. That's the situation. They're backed up. You got to be ready for a hard cadence that gets them off the goal line.
And Belichick will say, make sure these guys fire off. Look at everybody inside. Seattle in of all things, if they jumped off and weren't drawn, that'll take them to the 6-yard line.
This play takes place on the 1-yard line between Tom Brady and the offense, trying to avoid taking a sack or a safety so they don't jeopardize losing the Super Bowl. Now, if I was going to talk about Bill Belichick, I have to mention the critics and what I think. There have been theories this year about a rift in the Patriots between Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and owner Robert Kraft, and I haven't believed any of it. And it is not because I am naive or trying to be ignorant and avoid the truth. It is that stuff like that happens all the time, and there seemed to be a new story every day created by the media and their sources. And looking back on all of it, nothing happened. Brady, Kraft, and Belichick are all still there, and are the favorites to win the Super Bowl this year. So in reality, none of that stuff even mattered, and it is another reason why I don't listen to sources. They are always trying to create a story, and all of these stories are clickbait and just trying to scare people. Literally every story that involves the Patriots, whether it's Spygate, Deflategate, or a rift in the organization, goes on with every NFL team. I just blame the media for blowing up the story every time. And I'm not writing Bill Belichick a pass. I just feel like any of these stories were that important, Bill would be out of a job or even out of the league. So take it for what it's worth, but that's my take. Bill Belichick is number 3 in the NFL with all-time wins, but has the best winning percentage among those in the top 10. He has the most Super Bowl wins and appearances, and is undoubtedly the best coach of the modern era. Now I know Bill Belichick isn't everyone's cup of tea, which is fine and it's something I can live with, but I really believe he is a nice guy and is the most passionate coach you can meet. So give the man a chance because he was born to be a coach. He's not doing it for fame, he is doing it for passion, and he is pretty darn good at his job.